I know what's wrong with Laura and her problem is we're going back in time here. So Bakkavor came into having funding. This was in the past, about 2017, and they got funding. I remember it because I did some cover on the yard on day shift, and it was when Tina was in charge. She was supervisor back then, and Karen was on the yard as well, Karen B. And she only just got her forklift truck licence. I remember that. And then John, who were there as well, because we found all these bolts in these bags and we're wondering where they were coming from. Well, it's come from Laura Connor, hasn't it? When she's been in that engineering doing what she's doing. Yeah, so another thing as well is the company HR hired in jet washers to all the walls right on the outside. I remember them doing it. The business was picking up. This is just before I went on to a back shift with Bobby. This is how far back I'm going here. And then that's when Laura asked me out on a date and I said no to her at the time. But I do however remember Mike Oldham once going on to the yard, and this is a game he used to do, an habit he would get into. So before anybody started in the morning when the yard was empty and these audits was going on, and what audits are is where people come in and they start inspecting the site to see if it's up to standards for the food hygiene and health and safety and all that. So we had a lot of that going on, and I remember Mike Oldham doing this one day. So on the trailers, the food waste trailers, because the birds and all that were going in and eating it, so they ended up putting on a cover to stop that from happening. So because the cover was just left open, Mike Oldham has closed it and not said nothing. So when Karen has picked up a waste forklift and then she's lifted it right up, and then she's got, what she's gone and done is she's gone and tipped it right, because it goes round in a circle, so she's tipped it right round, and what happened is all the waste just fell on top and landed all over the floor because the thing was shot. I remember Tina having a go at Karen over that. I remember that happening that day. So it's coming more to this funding what they had in this training, and you could get your level 2 in food hygiene and other things come up. So what got said were there's a job opportunity coming up in HR, and for getting there really, I mean it's good pay, but you've got to be highly skilled to get there. Even managers who's been there for years couldn't get a job in there. It was that difficult to get on. Something's gone on anyway with Laura. She's believed she was going to get the job. I don't know if she's been told you're getting it but don't say nothing, and then she's gone and believed it, hasn't she? So HR staff has decided to have a bit of a laugh out of it, for wind her up as banter. So as a bit of time's gone on and Laura's believed every word of this, she's been in a really good mood. That's why I noticed when I was in laundry, she was in a really good mood. She was alright back then. It's when she left and she came back to now, and I've seen her, and her attitude compared to then, her attitude's definitely not good. Because she's been led on a wild goose chase basically, and everybody has just took the piss out of her. They are laughing at her behind her back. She can't see it. She does now because she messaged me saying that how she hated everybody at Bakkavor and she hated the place. So that did come from her. There was a job in HR, but it wasn't for Laura as she thought it was, because the HR staff, as I've said, were taking the piss out of her and she couldn't see it. Now Patricia, who I mentioned about being the manager now, or was, she was going to get the job in HR, and this other person was going to get the job she's in now. Yeah, so this is Marie anyway. She was running the potato line, and she was going to be put as manager as what Patricia was doing. That's how the original lineup was. But with Laura, she was getting a job at HR because she was just a cleaner. Yeah, you can see what I mean with the page. Look at their jobs. Look at the date, 4th of November 2024. So there you go. That's when they all lost their jobs. Right, so for this company, what went on strike, and then it all got sorted out because Wigan staff had to suffer of losing their jobs and the wages to make up for the loss at this place. Well, just before that happened, we had the Morrisons order turning up, where she was in charge of the line and it was the potatoes, and the machine weren't working properly, so the potatoes weren't coming out as they should. So that wasn't good. And Morrisons did pull out. Also, when I was on security, and people from here, the HR staff from coming from here, was coming to Wigan, they was the ones that were taking the contracts away. That's why they were turning up for. So I don't know where Luciana has got the idea of blaming me for that, because she were over me, see, she was my boss, and I couldn't work that out. And then with Laura as well, Laura got herself sacked. It's her own doing, because she took it so personal over thinking that she was going to get a job in the HR, only she wasn't. There was no job there for her at all. Her job was in laundry. See this lad here? Well, he was a supervisor after Tina left. He took over on, he was back shift, and then he went on to morning shift, and he started dating Karen. I remember this. They have all been taking the piss out of Laura over the two pattern with the machines what got put into security. See what I mean? Like here, how they've done it. I know they're saying that she's gone ahead basically. So that's what they've been doing. They've been taking piss out of her, and that's why he's no longer there. Yeah, that's Karen. Karen B there. That's her. So yeah, he dated her. I remember that going on. Yeah, it's more of a better picture though. These people don't even work there anymore. He don't work there. He was in warehousing. But yeah, that is definitely Karen B though. Get along with Karen. The same when I worked in the warehouse as well, and she was working, because I was order picking, and then she was bringing in the pallets. She's pretty strong though. So she was in there last time I was there when I was order picking, and then when I left again, and then I came back, then she was in the canteen. That was the most recent one. But Laura has had her sacked. So with Laura, she has gone back and started getting revenge on these people to make them lose their jobs. That's what she's done, and that's why she was so horrible for. She knows what Patricia's like. Mike Oldham too, we call her, because she's definitely acting like him, how she does stuff. So me and Karen know definitely what Patricia is like. So when she hears back what I've been saying, what she's been doing in security, Karen will click on straight away, because me and Karen know Patricia's games. Yeah, Natisha, she was on yard as well. And I remember she only just passed forestry licence. She was on there when I was put on to days for quite a bit. And yeah, Natisha. Because what I did then is I went on the back shift and I saw Natisha. I started at 4 in the afternoon and I actually saw Natisha as I was starting, she was leaving. But Laura has decided to grass her up, and this is one of her friends. And I knew she was smoking an e-cig on site, but I didn't say nothing, me, because I'm not going to grass people up. There's no point. She did no wrong to me, Natisha, to be honest. It's Laura who's grassed her up to HR. On the yard, you have certain machines such as the cardboard and then the plastics and then something else after that. I think it's no plastics one. And then the bags for the potatoes, obviously the waste ones, but that machine was broke quite a bit ago, but it did get eventually fixed. First one, she used to stand in the corner out the way, right, because there was a camera out there, and I didn't say nothing, me, but Laura has had her sacked for that. Yeah, I can see how this picture's been put together now, right there. You know what I mean? So they did try to help her about the two machines, but because Laura's gone and took it all seriously, that's why they've done this for. And then with her finding out as well about her husband slept with his ex-wife and all that's come out, this is what's gone on, and it's ruined everything. And it was the promise of a job in the HR, which she got her hopes up for, only it turned out there was no job for her in HR. It was meant to be for Patricia. The funding or something's gone wrong there, and everything's just got messed up, so it never happened. And then that's how Patricia ended up overtaking Mike Oldham's job, because Patricia, as I've said, slept with her husband to get that job, and that's what's gone on. Marie really should have had that job and she didn't, so she was gutted as well. So she got left behind on the potato line and that were it, and then eventually they've all gone. The other bakkavor, which went on strike, has just messed everything up, and then the unions have stopped the roaring. So that's it now. That's the end of bakkavor for Ince.